the semifinal of Thursday Night Thunder at none other than the Talladega Superspeedway Season 4 champion. Thomas Andrews sits on the front row looking to get his first win since Season 4. There's the green flag, and the Gen 4 cars are racing at Dega. One lap complete. Thomas Andrews leads the way in that number 2 on the left-hand side of the racetrack, but on the right-hand side of the racetrack, the pride of Rockwall, Texas, one Donald Ray in that number 5 sits in the second position. Tom Sears, the two-time TNT champion, under the left-hand yellow side line. Completely said that wrong, with Ryan Pennell blinking up a storm in the Georgia Bulldogs, number 12. And Ryan repping the Bulldogs, even though he's a fan, a native of Hoover, Alabama. Went to nearby Hoover High School here in Birmingham. Ryan, a big Georgia Bulldogs fan. He sits on the left-hand side in the number 12 charcoal and chrome red Ford Taurus. Behind him, the Ford Mustang. Tommy Withers in that striped number 6 with Lapeer, Michigan's Terry Freer behind in the number 86 machine. Rookie Christian Withers up top in the 6'9". Matt Kent, the number 31 Budweiser All-Star Chevrolet, sits behind Briley Wright in the 2'9". And Briley Wright chasing down this man here, defending champion Aiden Norman, disconnecting from the lobby right after qualifying, and it means he would start from pit road. So Norman having to start from the pit lane, and the native of Dobson, North Carolina, he can't clinch the title tonight, but he can clinch the title. I think it's going to depend on a lot, but if it all plays out in Aiden's favor tonight, he can certainly clinch the championship, I think, by starting next week's race, but we're going to find out. Austin Mongold went purple in the number 30 AOL machine. He sits behind Withers. Three wide down the front straight. Cody Riggs in that number 3. Austin Mongold losing control of the race car as it sails up into the corner. Tristan Catania in the Vice City 48 in the middle. Mongold all out of sorts. There goes the Michigan driver Freer in the 8.6 to his inside. And Mongold could use some help. He just has to control that race car a little bit. Ryan Pennell continues to blink. Briley Wright in the 2'9 Goodwrench Chevrolet. He knows a thing or two about winning at super speedways. Briley also winning 2 out of the last 4 races, if memory serves me right. Donald Ray still at the front in the 2'9. How's that for close? Let's go inside the bumper of the number 8 car. Toby Estes, one of those Bluegrass Bandits, as is Briley Wright in the 2'9, and then you have the 3 of Cody Riggs, and you know what I absolutely love about a super speedway race is that everybody has a chance to win this race. Absolutely everybody has a chance to win. Cody, regardless of where you are in points, if you're like Cody Riggs and you don't have a prayer at getting further up in this championship, that's one thing. Even if you're, Aiden Norman and you're fighting for the championship, one caution comes out. Aiden Norman, who is in 19th down the back straight, has a chance to win this race. Landon's in the house. He says, I got a chance to win this one too. There is the defending champion, Aiden Norman, going for his third consecutive Thursday Night Thunder championship. There's the man that's hunting him down, Briley Wright, in the 8th position. Coming into this race, it is a 65-point gap for Aiden Norman. And given the roster in tonight's race, I don't know the math exactly here. However, the magic number that Aiden is looking for here... Well, I'm sorry. No, I can't do the math here. Let's find out here. I would say the magic number that Briley Wright is looking for here, as far as those points are concerned, is 639. That's the maximum amount of points that Briley Wright can get in the remainder of this year, is 639 points. So actually, I was saying at the top of the show, Aiden Norman can't clinch the title. Surprise, I was wrong. Aiden Norman very much can clinch the title in tonight's race. He needs to leave Talladega with more than 639 points. If he does so, he is the 3-time Thursday Night Thunder champion. We'll see how it goes on for the rest of this race. Thomas Andrews sitting at the front in that 3-wide battle for the lead. Donald Ray in the middle. Tristan Catania on the outside in the Vice City Chevy. Look at Steven Oberstadt in the Bluey 38 Chevy. He's got the rookie, the newcomer, Tristan Withers, making his Thursday Night Thunder debut in this race. Withers getting a little close on that inside line. Oberstadt in the 38, on board with him. Andrews leading in that 2-car. Tom Sears behind him. 3 Thursday Night Thunder championships in this shot. Andrews in the 14. I'm sorry. Sears in the 14. Andrews in the 2. Sears with 2 championships. Andrews with 1. They're 3 wide for the lead down that front straight. 3 wide for second now as Tristan Catania loses some of the draft. Donald Ray in the number 5 Exalta Chevy flying the flag for Texas tonight. 11 laps underway of the scheduled 75, and there is defending champion Aiden Norman, who definitely needs a caution now. He will catch up to the back of this pack, but boy, is it going to be dangerous. Norman has tacked on to the back of Tommy Withers in the number 6 and the Virginian. Now behind the 7-5 of Jimmy Kerr, the third change at the front as Donald Ray wants to get into the lead by way of Toby Estes, pushing that number 5 Exalta Chevrolet up through the corner. Who's this on the outside? Is that Elridge George? That is indeed Elridge George in the number 40 Dodge Charger. And now the lucky dog is not guaranteed for defending champion Aiden Norman. Again, disconnecting after qualifying. And that means he would have to start from the pit lane. And Aiden has had some technology issues over the last week here, so his championship certainly threatened by it. But if my math is correct, and it never is, Briley Wright can get to 639 points as a maximum. At maximum, Briley Wright has to get to 639 points. So as the points show, Aiden Norman comes into this race with 606. 7 wins this season. Looking for that record-setting 8th victory. And Aiden Norman, he's got a chance. But 639 is the magic number. If Aiden Norman can leave here with 639 points, he will be that Thursday Night Thunder champion. Donald Ray in the number 5 Exalta Chevrolet, sitting up behind, up ahead of Toby Estes. Estes getting well up under the behind of Donald Ray. The number 2 of Thomas Andrews, the Miller Lite Chrome Dodge, sits ahead of Tom Sears. And on the outside, the newcomer, Christian Withers, up 14 places from where he started. Austin Mongold trying to push that 6-9 up through the field. 5.82 on the inside line, and watch that draft just work for these drivers. It is impressive stuff. "16 laps now underway from the Talladega Superspeedway. If you've just tuned in, you have not missed a thing. Caution free so far in this Gen 4 race. Donald Ray at the front, Toby Estes in that second position, and it looks like they're clear at the front by one vehicle. Christian Withers on the outside in that 6-9 Chevrolet. Donald Ray on the inside, the pride of Rockwall, Texas. How about defending champion Aiden Norman trying to get his lap back? Running in 18th right now, 3 wide on the outside and trying to save those championship hopes. And there's a crash right there out of turn number 2. There they go. Big wreck. 30's involved. The 2's involved. Elridge George in the 40 is involved. Caution comes out. Donald Ray is your leader into turn number 3. And the first yellow comes out lap number 17. Big crash, collecting at least 4, 5, maybe even 6 cars out of turn number 2. Let's see what happened. Net code. There's Brandon Fetterplace in the 2. Thomas Andrews got a big piece of him. By that time, they've already crashed. Let's see if we can just look a little bit further. Keep your eye on the 2. Watch for daylight between himself and the 30. But it looks like the 2 car, yep, big net code there. You can see the gap between the cars, and let's go on board with Andrews once more. And there's your net code. There is the net code as Thomas Andrews gets a big piece of that one. Aiden Norman also involved. Nowhere for the defending champion to go. Briley Wright, who's also in that championship hunt, he caught a piece of the accident too. Patrick Allen had crashed. Briley Wright already involved by the time this went on. Keep your eye on that red 2.9. Almost out of it until the 2 came down ahead of him. Austin Mongold getting a piece of that one. How about Ryan Pinnell? He's running in 4th right now. Just drove away from all of this. Matt Kent avoided that. Oh, he got into the wall there. Matt Kent did tag the left-hand wall, but he didn't make contact with any cars, so kudos to him. All in all, a ton of cars involved in that one. Donald Ray comes into the pits. Look how lifted the front end is off of that thing, but he's got fresh tires and fuel. He's going to be the race leader. Toby Estes in that number 8 car running in 2nd, and Tom Sears sitting in 3rd. So Donald Ray has control of the field, and he will when we go back to green. Lights still on atop the pace car. Fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with more Gen 4 racing at Talladega. And restarts are always a thrill. Come back, defending champions in trouble. We'll see what happens in 2 minutes. Back at the Talladega Superspeedway, Donald Ray at the front of this race. Let's see if we can bother him for a quick word. Jacket Ray, Rick James up top, you got me.
I got you, buddy.
Leading once again at the front. We haven't seen you win a race since Season 4 in TNT at your home track of Texas. But if there was a race that you were going to win, you got a pretty good shot at winning this one.
Yeah, as long as I can keep somebody fast behind me that knows how to push, like Toby or Tom Sears or Ryan or somebody, and they're willing to work with me, then I think we got a pretty good shot.
Who do you think is going to be your toughest rival on the way to victory lane? The defending champion, Aiden Norman, just got involved in an accident.
Yeah, I think he still going to remain a lap down. I don't think anybody got a lucky dog there because of the incidents during the caution. But honestly, probably my biggest competition tonight is probably going to be Toby Estes. I mean, he'll work with me to the last lap, and he'll do just like anybody else would and go for the win.
We'll see what happens here. Some 60-some laps from now, Jacket. Be good, buddy. Keep her moving straight, and hopefully we talk to you at the end of the race.
All right, Rick. Thanks, buddy.
So Donald Ray has control of the field. We're going to go green here as the Pride of Rockwall, Texas will lead us to the line. One of the Bluegrass Bandits starting on the right-hand side, Toby Estes. If you just tuned in, we're going green after a lap 17 caution. Donald Ray with control of the field. Toby Estes to his right-hand side. Green flag is out. Donald Ray leads lap number 1. Toby Estes behind him. Hoover High School's Ryan Pennell on the outside in that number 1-2 Georgia Ford Taurus. The 4-8 of Tristan Catania behind Pennell. Single file, 3 cars, now 2 cars deep as Ryan Pennell comes on the outside by help of the 48. And with help behind that 48 in the bluey Chevrolet, Steven Oberstadt. That's just cool. You know, you gotta love the imagination where you could find a bluey Chevrolet up in your iRacing event. You gotta love it. That is just cool, man. Shout out Bluey. Shout out Steven Oberstadt as well. Shout out this race we got going up at the front. Let's talk about cartoon dogs a little less, and how about some high horsepower race cars. Lapeer, Michigan, bringing his number 86 up to third car on the left line. Terry Freer. He wants a piece of the lead. Aiden Norman involved in that last accident. Norman finds himself on the outside, and he used that fast repair. Remember, Aiden Norman looking to hit 639 tonight. 639 is the magic number, and Aiden Norman unofficially will clinch his 3rd consecutive Thursday Night Thunder championship, but he's got to get to the finish of this race first. 23 laps complete. And we'll have 51 to go next time by. Virginia's Tommy Withers shoots to the inside line. He wants to stay out of this mess and keep his nose clean, while Patrick Allen in the number 45 Coke Zero Chevrolet tries to recover from that accident. Let's have a look and see what happened to him on lap 17. Got caught up in that mess on the outside, almost avoided it. Matt Kent takes a little bit of a tag to the left-hand side. Thomas Andrews involved, Brandon Fetterplace involved, Aiden Norman involved. Briley Wright, Aiden Norman's championship rival, also caught a piece of that as well. Tie-Dye T's in the chat cheering on for Briley. And right now, one of those Bluegrass Bandits from the proud town of Greensburg, Virginia, sits in 8th. What is the 30 car doing? What in the world is he doing? That is terrifying. Austin Mongold just scaring everybody by getting closer to the racetrack. Have another look. What is Mongold doing driving that close to the yellow line on the racetrack? That, yeah, so Austin Mongold's going to get the, as he comes into the pits, Austin Mongold's going to pick up the Seth Wansing What Are You Doing award of the race.
What are you doing?
For boneheaded moves that could have caused a serious accident, Austin Mongold will use a fast repair And he'll also pick up the Jackass of the Race Award while we're at it as well. So Tom Sears is at the front of this race. Ryan Pennell to the inside. Look at the Hoover High School graduate in that number 1-2 Georgia Ford to the front. Pennell has won here before. Let's go back to Talladega, Season 4. Ryan Pennell winning. Coming up off of turn number 4, he's sitting in third behind Tommy Withers and Dustin Painter. Tommy Reynolds. Reynolds slides up the racetrack, makes contact with Painter. And Ryan Pennell scoots on through to win at the Talladega Superspeedway, and he is at the front of this race, leading inside the final 50 laps. Defending champion Aiden Norman still 1 lap off the pace, running in 17th. Briley Wright running in 14th. Aiden Norman could still clinch if Briley Wright does not get a high enough finish in this race. There is Wright in the 2.9, and it's still plenty of racing to go. The drivers only restarted lap 20, I think, and they've got about 30 laps of fuel on one tank. So it's a waiting game for now. We'll see just how far they make it. Briley Wright running in 14th for now. Ryan Pennell still leading this race. Single file, 2 cars deep, with the defending champion running third in line. Here comes the rookie once again, Christian Withers, in that 6.9 Chevrolet. But the last time Withers was on the outside, he got caught up in a wreck. Is he setting himself up for failure once again? And if your kids love blue, we tell them to run to the screen, because Steven Oberstadt running that number 3.8 Bluey Chevrolet, third on the high side. He's got Colorado's Patrick Allen behind him. And how about Toby Estes in the Star Spangled Budweiser Chevrolet on board with the 8? Almost makes you sick, doesn't it? You got to tilt your head with it sometimes. Christian Withers still on the outside. He's running in third, but leading that high line as the devastatingly loud race cars tear into turn number 3. Ryan Pennell still out front, still in control, and I think drivers are just ready to settle right now. And just as I say that, Patrick Allen gets a little too high, wide, and handsome for his own damn good. The 45 Coke Zero Chevrolet on the inside behind Oberstadt in the 38. Sears in the 14 sitting in the middle, with the 6.9 of rookie Christian Withers on the outside. And the 86, Michigan's Terry Freer on the high side, just rolling next to Toby Estes and hoping to come out clean from turn 2. Austin Mongold, who recently picked up his second What Are You Doing award of the season. Now running back in the pack, Ryan Pennell almost losing his lunch there. You can see Donald Ray got a little too close to the back end. Drivers getting spread out. Mongold out of control in the back of the field, swerving all over that lane. Drivers trying to be careful, be wary, and stay way away from that number 30 AOL Chevrolet. And then Elrich George in that 40 Dodge trying to get to the inside. Withers in the 6, bringing up the rear of this pack. Landon saying he wants to see the 29 and the 8 link up and move to the front. Tom Sears now with help from the 3.8, and the rookie Withers in the 6.9 is going to be left to dry in that middle. Terry Freer with some fans in the chat as well. Shout out to all the folks over in Lapeer. Patrick Allen going to get into the wall. Terry Frears behind him. Allen gets glued up to the wall, and he will stay there. And shout out Patrick Allen for not just turning left down off the wall into traffic. Pennell still leads 32 laps now complete from iRacing's Talladega Superspeedway. He's been blinking all night like that, but hey, he's still up at the front doing his thing. .42 laps to go this time by. Oberstadt, a part-time driver, tonight trying to make his run in that 3.8. On board with the car in front, Christian Withers. .41 laps to go now, and they sail by just in the closest quarters. I mean, Tristan Catania almost just made contact with Terry Freer there. How about Sears trying to get a side draft out of turn number 2, venturing into the low line? Rookie of the year, Brandon Fetterplace in the 3-4 machine, sitting 4th in line on the inside with the defending champion just ahead of him. And I think it was official last week, but it's now super official. Sits 3rd in those drip, diecast, and collectibles points. Brandon Fetterplace is your TNT Rookie of the Year. And the number 34 Camry, running 4th in line right now. And again, drivers just trying to settle in, seeing how far they can make it. I'm curious to see just how far they can make it. Donald Ray puts 2 tires below the yellow line, and he ain't gonna make it much farther if he keeps on playing risky like that. And talking about drip, diecast, and collectibles, if you see any of these paint schemes tonight and you think to yourself, hey, I had a paint scheme like that, well, you probably did. Toby Estes running that 8 car. We remember that red, white, and blue paint scheme. Where's Matt Kent, by the way? There he is in the 31. If you don't remember one of these Dale Jr. Classic paint schemes, where have you been? Come on. Briley Wright in the 2.9. I forget where Kevin Harvick drove that red Goodwrench Chevrolet, but definitely one of my favorite paint schemes that I've seen over the last few years. Cody Riggs is around here in that number 3, and then there's Thomas Andrews with him in the number 2. Remember that Blue Deuce? Any of these paint schemes, you can find these diecasts for on Drip Diecast and Collectibles. It is your number 1 Facebook store for all your NASCAR memorabilia, and it's not too late to buy something before Christmas. Get on over to Drip Diecast and Collectibles. Get that gift. Donald Ray in that number 5, sitting behind Ryan Pennell in the number 2, the native Alabama pilot leading the way. Tom Sears from the great state of Massachusetts. We haven't seen him win in such a very long time. The 2-time champion is certainly overdue. How about JK3, Jimmy Kerr III? He hasn't won in TNT ever. Maybe this is his afternoon. Let's take a look at some NFL scores while we got these guys gyrating around the racetrack. Last time, Monday night, I tried pulling up some NFL scores, and I thought it was the Seahawks and the Cowboys because I opened up my Prime app by mistake. So I'm sitting here on Monday night trying to talk about a football game that happened on Thursday, and it took 2 people in the chat to tell me that I was watching the wrong thing. So if I do start talking nonsense as your new leader is Tom Sears, please let me know. Joke writes itself, doesn't it? Anyway, looking at the Steelers and the Patriots, it's 21-3 Patriots right now over Pittsburgh. They're playing in Pittsburgh. The 2-10 New England Patriots are visiting the 7-5 Steelers. There's 6:45 to go in the second quarter, and the Patriots are now trying to stop the Steelers from getting across midfield. Tom Sears leads the way in the number 14. How about New Jersey's Tristan Catania to the outside with Aiden Norman behind him? Michigan's Terry Freer in the top lane. And it's now back to 2 cars undisturbed at the front of this one. 39 laps about to be completed. Tom Sears still leading. Donald Ray in that number 5 behind Ryan Pennell, and Aiden Norman just desperately trying to get his lap back, but now he's got to try and unlap himself because Cody Riggs and Thomas Andrews are about to go a lap down, and now the Lucky Dog race is going to be between 4 cars. These two trying to split. Here comes the cavalry. There's Riggs. There's Andrews. There's the rest of the field right beneath them all. Andrews is in the wall. Withers is going to get underneath him. Cody Riggs now coming up off of turn number 4. He's okay. And everybody makes it through clean. Tristan Catania trying to lead what may just be his first laps this season in TNT, and unofficially, I think Tristan did lead that lap, so that'll be a bonus point for the New Jersey pilot. Toby Estes rolling in second. Briley Wright, who's trying to get up there and keep this championship alive, rolling at the back of this pack. Aiden Norman still at the front. If the race ends now, I have no idea where the points are going to be, because I have no idea how to calculate anything. So we're just going to let them race. And 35 laps from now, we'll talk about the points then. Cody Riggs now getting down to the inside line. He's going to get behind his Bluegrass Bandit buddy. 2-9 and the 3 have now linked up on board with Riggs. Riggs to the inside of Wright in the 2-9, and maybe they're trying to get linked up with Toby Estes. The number 8 Star Spangled Budweiser Chevrolet behind the 2-time champion Tom Sears. 42 laps now complete. 3rd and 5 now for the Steelers as a flag is thrown for something that I wasn't watching. Still 21-3 with 3:40 left in that first half. Bill Belichick looking pissed off as always. Catania at the front of this race, being pushed by the defending champion, currently running in the 15th position, just trying to keep his race alive. Oberstadt behind Norman. Look at Norman on the outside. He really wants to unlap himself. He does not want to fall and stay under 1 lap down. Remember, Aiden Norman with connection issues at the beginning of this race. And now, Norman just trying to actually stay in this race, hoping that he becomes the lucky dog and he does get his lap back. Tom Sears and Tristan Catania still dueling for the lead. Tom Sears in the 14, still at the front of this one. 30 laps to go next time by. Second and 6, Steelers throwing it for a big touchdown, and it's now 21-9 with the conversion coming. Mitch Trubisky with a throw to Deontay. I did not read his last name. My microphone was in the way. I was going to say Johnson, but I know it's on his last name. Somebody watching this, tell me who the hell's the receiver, the number 18 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have no idea who this guy is. Deontay somebody. I couldn't read his last name. My mic was in the way, but anyway, Steelers finally score that first touchdown here in the first half. Just a few minutes to go. Oh, it is Johnson. All right, I read that correctly. Deontay Johnson, the scoring receiver. Extra point incoming. The kick is up and good. It's now 21-10. As I'm fiddling with the cameras here for no reason. It's 21-10 Steelers trailing the Patriots at home. Tom Sears leading this race. The big Patriots fan at the front of this one. Toby Estes sitting behind him. And drivers just kind of chill. Just kind of riding this one out. Even though we're going to have green flag pit stops coming in approximately the next 5 laps. So this is going to be really interesting to see who comes down pit road, who hits their mark, who doesn't, and if it goes green all the way from here, drivers will be good to go to the end. Landon asking when they have to pit. And I'll be honest, I have no idea when these guys have to pit, but it's going to be, oh, he says that as soon as I told him. Yeah, sometime in the next 5 laps here. If my math is right, which we know it never is. If you've just tuned in, just one caution so far on lap number 17. Let's see what happened here. Thomas Andrews, Christian Withers, Brandon Fetterplace, Cody Riggs, I'm now seeing caught a piece of that. Elrich George, Matt Kent, Briley Wright, Aiden Norman, all of those drivers involved. And defending champion Aiden Norman, by the way. There is the 6-2 car. Norman looking to clinch the Thursday Night Thunder Championship just by leaving Talladega with enough points, but he wants that single season win record of 8, and he's going for that tonight. Matthew Kent decides he's going to come into the pits. Man, he was screeching those tires on the way in. But Kent makes it in. And that's going to start green flag pit stops here. This is approximately 30 laps on the nose after Matt Kent last pitted. So he's into the pits there. The GTA Vice City Chevrolet, Tristan Catania. On the outside, trying to get pushed to the front by Aiden Norman. Season 4 champion Thomas Andrews, 2 laps down. He comes out of the pits back onto the track with no draft partners. Austin Mongold also 2 laps down, sitting at the back of this pack. One car furiously blinking there, and here comes everybody into the pits. Watch this. Pinnell moving at the speed of light. So is Aiden Norman. There's contact. Brandon Fetterplace getting into Briley Wright in the 2-9 who survives. Now Fetterplace gets into Cody Riggs in the 3. Tristan Catania survives all of that. More than 10 cars coming down to pit road right there. That was chaos. New leader, Steven Oberstadt. Oberstadt on his way in at the speed of light. Oberstadt's going to overshoot. Jimmy Kerr III also going to overshoot. Rookie Christian Withers now coming down into pit road by himself. There's Tom Sears with Toby Estes behind him. finally moving up at speed. Let's see that mad dash into pit lane one more time. That was incredible. Nope, this is under the caution. Let's try once more. Everybody trying to come down into pit lane here. Watch this. And keep your eye on Rookie of the Year Fetter Place coming in at just an outrageous rate of speed. Austin Mongold has had zero control of his race car all night long. He almost, on the back straight by himself, almost just drove right into oncoming traffic. It was alarming. And he drives through pit lane there, so it's been a terrible race for Austin Mongold so far. And now we have Toby Estes going for the potential lead. Jimmy Kerr the third now coming back out onto the racetrack. Don't know if Kerr got tires. A pit time of 12 seconds, so he definitely didn't get 4 tires at least. Just enough fuel to go the distance. But Jimmy Kerr the third back out onto the racetrack. Steven Oberstadt in second. Tommy Withers in third. Here comes Toby Estes with a head full of steam with Matt Kent pushing him along. Estes trying to draft on the outside. Oberstadt will be overtaken. And Toby Estes is now in the second position. There's the race leader, Jimmy Kerr the third, with Aiden Norman behind him. Norman now 2 laps off the pace. Harrington in the chat says Freer picked up at least 7 spots from those shenanigans. And there's your pit lane time for the top 10. Terry Freer started in 7th, sitting in 7th right now. And Jimmy Kerr, again, I don't think he got any tires. He only had a pit stop time of 12.5 seconds. That should definitely be enough for Kerr to have enough fuel to go the distance. Kerr leading. Matthew Kent sitting in the third position. Toby Estes ahead of him is in second. And now these cars want to get single file to catch the pack ahead of them. Keep your eye on the clock. We'll see what it says. Last time by, Toby Estes was 4/10 slower than Jimmy Kerr. 22 to go across the line. This time by, Kerr leads. And the clock says 48:15 for James Kerr III. Toby Estes slower than Kerr. Could the tandem draft be in effect? Well, Jimmy Kerr's definitely going to be slower this time because Aiden Norman and Brandon Fetterplace are getting around him, but Kerr will tuck into line here. There's Cody Riggs in that number 3. He's going to be a part of this. Jimmy Kerr going fuel only has now put him in connection with these cars that are a lap down. Could James Kerr III have put himself in a winning position? Fuel only for the 75. And by help of some lap-down cars, he's sitting in his own little 3-car pack right here. But here comes Toby Estes. After all that shuffling this last time through, Toby Estes 1/10 quicker than Jimmy Kerr III. 4 cars in this string right here with Steven Oberstadt sitting in 5th. There's Kerr III leading this race behind the 2 lap-down cars of Fetter Place and Norman. This is going to be a very interesting final 20 laps. I guarantee it. And if you've just tuned in, it's been one of the more eventful races this season. Austin Mongold, who has had just a miserable race today, coming in the number 30 AOL Chevrolet. Again. And there is the second place Toby Estes, now with 2:0 to go. And Jimmy Kerr with 1:9 next time at the line. That last time by, on lap 55, I'm sorry. Jimmy Kerr, slower than Toby Estes again. It's a 4.6 second gap, and at this rate, Toby Estes is not gaining enough time on Jimmy Kerr to take the lead. If Aiden Norman, Brandon Fetterplace, and Kerr have enough fuel to go the distance, which they absolutely do, Jimmy Kerr could win this race if it goes green to the finish. On pit strategy at Talladega. When's the last time somebody won a race on pit strategy at Talladega? It could happen. 19 laps to go. Looking at the Steelers and the Patriots. Patriots have the ball trying to go across the halfway line, and it's an incomplete pass. It will be 3rd and 7 for New England with 1:56 to go. The 2 and 10 Patriots are ahead of the Steelers 21-10 with less than 2 minutes to play in this first half. Jimmy Kerr III, 4.5 seconds ahead of Toby Estes and Matt Kent all over the back end of that star-spangled number 8. Here comes Patrick Allen in the 45 machine and 2-time champion Tom Sears. $17 to go this time by, and Tom Sears rides comfortably in the 6th position. 4.6 seconds, still the gap, but look at these guys getting a little bit out of sorts. If Kerr is to win this race, the 62 and the 34 must keep their shape, and Norman decides to break that shape. Harrington saying it would have happened to Greg Biffle, I suppose, winning a Talladega race on pit strategy. Looks like the Patriots quarterback just got sacked, so presumably the Patriots are going to punt it back to the Steelers here with less than 2 minutes to go, and the Patriots quarterback just rubbing that elbow as he comes off the field. Not a good look for New England, but again, the 2 and 10 Patriots up by 11 points on the Steelers right now. Race leader Jimmy Kerr with 16 to go next time by, now sandwiched in between the 3-4 of Fetterplace and the 6-2 of Aiden Norman. Austin Mongold in the 30, now coming up behind the 6-2 of Norman. 16 laps to go this time by, and Toby Estes still holding on to the 2nd position. Matt Kent in 3rd. Briley Wright, championship hopeful, sitting in 10th, and he's going to need that caution to save him. Next week is the final race of Thursday Night Thunder. And what a season it has been. Aiden Norman desperately trying to clinch that season championship today at Talladega. We'll talk about more about that points chase at the end of tonight's race. There goes Briley Wright in the red Goodwrench machine, one of those championship hopefuls. And then in the new year, we're bringing back Mazda Mondays. The ARCS MX-5 Cup will be here Monday, January 22, 8:30 p.m. right here on Rick James TV. And for the love of racing and for the love of fun, we're going to throw those fun little 4-cylinder go-karts around places like Phoenix, Darlington, Michigan. It's going to be an awesome little competition. 6 weeks of Mazda MX-5s and the most irresponsible group of drivers you've ever seen in your entire life. So make sure that you're here for that in the new year. Once again, shout out to the folks over at Drip Diecast and Collectibles for providing our points, for providing our track facts tonight. Fans at home, if you love any of these paint schemes you see here, if you want a piece of NASCAR history, go on to Drip Diecast and Collectibles. Get that NASCAR memorabilia and get your piece of NASCAR history now. For yourself, for somebody you love, for somebody you hate, it does not matter. There's still time before Christmas. Drip Diecast and Collectibles is your #1 Facebook store for all of your favorite NASCAR memorabilia, get on over to Drip Diecast and Collectibles and get your favorite piece of NASCAR history now. Briley Wright sitting in 10th. Donald Ray behind him in 11th. And as it stands, again, my math is wrong. We're going to find out at the end of this race. But as it stands, I don't think the points gap will be closed enough by Briley to be the champion. But we're going to find out still. Lucky number 13 laps to go at the Talladega Superspeedway. Toby Estes running in that second position. Jaco saying, internet screw. And if you don't know, Jason Alexander from Sumter, South Carolina, he's a TNT regular as well. Oh, he said he got screwed by the internet on getting in on this race tonight, and that's a damn shame. We love seeing Jaco. It is a shame. Well, Jaco, you got to be there next week. Next week is the last TNT race of the season at Homestead. We got to see you there, man. So I'll bet on that. I'll bet on seeing you next week at Homestead, man. But I'm definitely glad you could come out for this one and at least say hi. Landon's cheering for his Bluegrass Bandit as Toby Estes goes to the front of this race. Jimmy Kerr III has been taken over, and he was passed a while ago. They caught up to the 75. Estes goes to the front. There they all got caught up right there. It seems like the 30 of Austin Mongold joined their pack, and then they lost all sorts of speed. And now Toby Estes getting around Kerr in that 7-5. He goes to the front. He's your new leader at the Talladega Superspeedway. He's trying to put Aiden Norman a second lap down. As far as that Steelers game goes, Patriots going into the half up 11 points on Pittsburgh. This is going to be a fun second half to watch. And it's 11 laps to go at Dega. Landon says he's scared with the 30 of Mongold being up there. Mongold getting real close. He was a lap down, and Austin Mongold came right up on the racetrack and got really close with some guys, and he almost took out some drivers there, and then he's just had no control of the race car all night long, flying through the grass when drivers were trying to scramble into pit lane, and just dangerous moves tonight. So Landon has reason enough to be scared. The 3-1 of Matt Kent has not won a Thursday night Thunder race ever. Could this be his day? That 3-1 Budweiser Monte Carlo now trying to chase down that guy right there. Toby Estes in the 8 car. And Noah Belleville in the chat says, Toby found his draft partner. Cody Riggs in the chat, a.k.a. Suicideways, says, well, I'm screwed from the least bit of contact on pit road. And he said, check out that left rear suspension camera. Let's see what happened to Cody Riggs. There you can see Riggs just trying to nurse that car there. Not sure what happened to the 3. Riggs is still running okay. Not sure what happened to him, though. Caution's out. Caution's out on the racetrack. Have they crashed? Where have they gone around? Fetter places slow in the 34. Caution is out. We're going to restart inside the final 7 laps at Talladega. I love this. I love a super speedway shootout to the end. I think everybody does. I don't know that there's anybody that doesn't, but the caution is out on the racetrack, and it is for the 30 of Austin Mongold. He gets right ahead of Brandon Fetterplace. And this has got to be the umpteenth, what's the word, umpteenth? I don't know who made that up, but it's a stupid word. But this has got to be the 40th incident that Austin Mongold has been involved in tonight. Watch this. And I just want to know what happened to the 30 car. He's already sideways by the time this starts. This is the lap prior, I think. Austin Mongold running 2 tires below the yellow line. He wrecks himself. Landon goes, I called that. Well, I'll give it to you. You sure did call that. And let's back this one up here. Let's start in turn number 3. But clearly, Austin Mongold putting 2 tires below the yellow line. And I'm not sure what he was thinking, what he was trying to do here. But, yeah, at that point, he's just absolutely just ruined his own race here. And one more time, let's go on board the 30 car here. And Rookie of the Year, Brandon Fetterplace, with nowhere to go, obviously just couldn't have anywhere to go with that one. So Austin Mongold getting involved in an accident there. This is on lap 17 here. Mongold was involved in that first accident. And this is coming back to pit road. Coming back to pit road, Austin Mongold getting into the grass, crashing again. This is on lap 47 here. Austin Mongold trying to come into pit road and coming in way too fast. And he's going to drive his race car through every inch of the grass here, even while there's perfectly good pit lane road there for him to drive on. Mongold has had no control of his race car all night long. This is on lap 54. Let's see what happened to him there. If we could find him. There he is, almost going backwards on the racetrack here. And then here on lap 64, Austin Mongold putting 2 tires beneath the yellow line and wrecking himself. And that's why we are under caution here. So Matt Kent was the leader at the time of yellow. Lights are still on atop the pace car, so we are going to go green for at least one more lap. And there comes Austin Mongold back onto the racetrack. So drivers now need to be extremely careful for the end of this race. We're going to take a 2-minute break and make sure that everyone's going to be all right. And we hope this is going to be a fantastic finish. We know it's going to be a fantastic finish, and we hope you're going to be here with us. So we'll be back in 2 minutes, and we're going to see you for the end of this thrilling race. Don't go anywhere. Getting ready to go green once again as Matt Kent sits at the front of this race. Toby Estes to his outside. Estes has a win this season. Matt Kent winless. Sneak in a quick word with the American pitcher. Matt Kent, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Well, 5 laps to go when we get to the line, and you have a genuine chance to win this race. Who's going to be your biggest obstacle on the way there?
I think, Tristan's been pretty aggressive on the high side. Toby's been fast all night. We worked well to get back with the leader. I already told Oberstadt just to not pick my rear tires up here on this restart, so we'll see how the last 5 shake out.
Best of luck, buddy. Pull the belts tight. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
Thank you, bud.
Toby Estes on the outside of Matthew Kent. Aiden Norman still 2 laps off the pace. And his championship hopes may well still have to go down to the final race next week at Homestead. New life has been breathed into Briley Wright, who is now ready to close the gap up to Aiden Norman. Wright's going to need to drive a sensational but smart few laps. It may not be about the win for Briley, but it may be about survival. Matt Kent in the 3-1 has control of the field when the green flag flies. 5 laps to go at Talladega. The semifinal is green. Tristan Catania weaving and bobbing, trying to get around that 31. Oberstadt to the front on the outside of the 31. The Bluey car to the lead. 4 laps to go at Talladega. Estes to the outside. Oberstadt to the front with 2-time champion Tom Sears trying to take the high line. Here goes Kent to the inside of Oberstadt. 3 and 4 wide through the tri-oval. Matt Kent gets to the front of this race. And there they go. There's a huge crash. Briley Wright's been involved in the 2-9. Aiden Norman also involved in the 6-2. And now the question has to be asked. Did Norman use that fast repair after that first crash? I believe he did. And the defending champion in 17th, 2 laps off the pace, may be in serious trouble. How about Ryan Pennell, the smoke billowing from that Georgia Bulldogs Ford Taurus? We will have, and say it with me now, a green, white checker. I don't care how many times Ryan Pennell blinks now. That car is messed up. Third caution of the evening. Let's go back to the pass that Matt Kent made for the lead. What a wild crash. Oberstadt in the Bluey machine to the lead. There's Matt Kent. Oberstadt left the door open. Matt Kent using every inch of racetrack, making the most legal pass you can. Definitely did not go under that yellow line, and Matt Kent survives all of that, and Steven Oberstadt just gets a piece of that crash. Let's watch Oberstadt get around Kent for the lead here. This is down the back straight. Oberstadt shoots high. Just gets right ahead of Estes. Keep your eye on that 3-8. This is going to be ugly. I just think the 5 and the 3-8 made a little bit of contact. Tristan Catania going high. Just a little too high there as well. And keep your eye on that 48. See if he gives it a wiggle here. Just 4 wide down the front straight briefly. Oberstadt pushed up the racetrack. Yeah, Ray tried to come down, and I think Ray thought he was clear when he wasn't. He gets right into the 3-8 of Oberstadt. And have another look here with Donald Ray. The black Exalted car in the middle. Watch him. I don't think he knew Oberstadt was there. Briley Wright got collected. The 40 of Elrich George got collected. Look at Ryan Pennell slamming into the wall. That was heavy. One more. The native of Hoover, Alabama in the 1-2. He almost made it. He almost made it. Cody Riggs got involved. Pinnell just avoids that one. And another look. On board Toby Estes. The native of Good Hope using that fast repair on that number 12. Matt Kent still in the race lead. And one of those Bluegrass Bandits, Toby Estes, in the number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet, sitting in the second position. Let's see if we can bother Toby for a quick word. Don't want to take away too much focus. Toby Estes, Rick James up top. You got me?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
I'm doing all right, man. Talking to Matt Kent and talking to Donald Ray earlier today, they said that you were going to be one of the biggest hurdles on the way to victory lane. What do you think about that?
Well, the way it's going right now, I'm just trying to make it to the checkered flag in one piece. But if racing clean to the end, yes, I feel like my car's pretty fast. I've been making good moves all night long. I can push. So, yeah, we'll just have to see what happens.
Lights are out atop the pace car here, Toby, and the 31 of Matt Kent has control of the field once again. Tom Sears behind you in the 14. Who do you think is going to be the biggest hurdle on the way to victory lane?
Well, the last restart there, they split me 3 wide when I thought they were going to help. So, it could be anybody. I would probably look for somebody, probably maybe even behind Donald Ray, to get some good momentum and come up here and win this race.
It's going to be an absolute thrill, these final 2 laps, man. Like we told Matt Kent, like we'll tell the rest of these drivers, man, just pull the belts tight, and hopefully we talk to you at the end.
Yep, I appreciate it, Rick.
Toby Estes on the outside of Matt Kent in what will be the first of 3 green-white checkered attempts. And if you're new to TNT, Gen 4 cars, Gen 4 rules with a little bit of a modern twist. We do run the green-white checkered, or the 2-lap-to-go sprint to the end of the race. Just try to get a green flag finish in here. And at Talladega, who doesn't love that, honestly? Raise your hand and be counted if you don't love a green-white checkered finish. Looking at that Steelers-Patriots game, the score still 21-10 New England. There's 13:50 something and rolling to go in the third quarter. 3rd and 4 now, and I believe the Patriots have the ball. So if you had your money on Pittsburgh, they need to go to work here. They're down 11. It's 3rd and 4 now. They're on their own 22-yard line. And they are going to throw it for a first down. So Pittsburgh continues to march here. Anyway, back to some racing. Who wants a shootout to the finish? 2 laps to go. Green flag is out at Talladega. Let's do it. Estes behind the 3-1, the 7-5 and the 3-1 winless in TNT. Here comes defending champion Aiden Norman on the outside. He's still got a chance if he gets around all of these race cars. They almost wreck behind him. White flag is out this time by Briley Wright. Now running. Where's Briley? In the 7th position. There he is in the 2-9. If he can get to the end in one piece, the championship is still alive, and it's a race no matter what. Less than 2.5 miles to go at Talladega. 3-1 of Matt Kent leads. Jimmy Kerr in the second position. Tristan Catania running third on the left-hand line. There goes Toby Estes with Aiden Norman behind him. Estes wants to get to the front. He wants to lead. He is edging Kent into turn number 3. The Bluegrass Bandits want a third win in 5 races, but it's going to be a drag race to finish this one through. It will be a 5th consecutive race at Talladega with a new winner. Toby Estes wants it to be him. Matt Kent to the inside with Aiden Norman pushing. It will be a drag race to win the semifinal at Talladega, and the win will go. It's Toby Estes who wins at Talladega, crashing across the line. How about that one? That was just ridiculous. Come on back. How about that finish? Toby cannot make it another lap around, so he's going to do his burnout right here. How about that finish? Are you kidding me? Shades of season 4 when there were cars flying airborne across the line. Oh, I'm shaking. My heart is racing. How about that finish? That was something else. There we go. I was going to say, can we get Toby's burnout here? The Bluegrass Bandits win again. A big win for the state of Kentucky. Bluegrass Bandits do it again. How about that finish? Let's take a look at the last lap here. Keep your eye on the Star Spangled 8 car in the back here. He's going to get a sensational, and I mean sensational push from Aiden Norman. Watch this. Keep your eye on the 31 of Matt Kent in the tri-oval. He's going to get turned by the 75 of Kerr, who's also going for the win. Kerr pushing, pushing, pushing. And he's going to push just a little too hard in the tri-oval here. Yeah, there's the move right there. Kerr gets right to the 31. Now, Kerr goes up on the 8 car. Not sure what he was thinking. But Toby Estes definitely had enough, and who is just flying across the line here? Watch this. Withers makes it through. That's Matt Kent, who's breakdancing on his lid. Check this out. So many angles to look at, so many cars here to see. There goes Andrews. He also flew through the air. All right, let's go on board Thomas Andrews here, because that's just cool. To infinity and beyond. Buzz Lightyear took off, man. He went into space. Check this out. Now we're going to go with Matt Kent. If I can find him. That was just nuts. That was chaos. But you love to see it. One more at Talladega here. That's unbelievable. That is awesome. All right, let's get these winning in. Toby Estes is still doing burnouts on the front straight. Let's get these boys in the booth, and let's have our top three here in just a moment. Toby Estes, Tristan Catania, and Jimmy Kerr will join us in the booth. Fans, we'll see you in a bit. On the podium now with our top three after just a thrilling airborne finish that saw Matt Kent sail into the sky higher than the starter stand. Let's start with our third place finisher, Jimmy Kerr the third. JK, a bronze medal in probably one of the most unlikely fashions ever, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like I was talking to Kent just a few minutes ago. That was honestly not intentional. He had been drifting up in the trioval, and so I was trying to follow where he normally would have been, and he hugged the yellow on that one. So it miscalculation there, and I had a lot of momentum, and I was trying to just push us both to 1-2 there.
Still turned out to be a thrilling finish, and now we got something to talk about next week at the final race at Homestead, man. Congratulations on third.
I appreciate it.
New Jersey's Tristan Catania comes in with a silver medal tonight. Tristan, was second place even on your mind tonight? That finish was nuts.
No, it wasn't, because a lot of times when I run up front, I usually end up in the back, especially after that one caution that brought us to the green-white checkered. But I don't know. It was a crazy finish. I thought that when they started wrecking, I was like, oh, I see the opening, and then I didn't really see it coming. But then Toby came down in front of me. I hit him. I ended up pushing him to the win. He just kind of closed it right off. If he had gone up the track instead of down, it might have been mine. But I'll take second. I'm happy. It's a great race.
It was a great race and a great finish as well. And we'll see you at next week's final at the Homestead Miami Speedway, which now brings us to the Bluegrass Bandits once again. Toby, I think this is something like 4 wins in the last 6 races for the state of Kentucky. Something ridiculous like that, but amazing numbers so far. It's your second win this season, and now you've matched with Briley Wright on wins this season too, man. What a finish.
Yeah, not kind of how I wanted it to happen there with the whole wreck, but a win's a win. Definitely wasn't expecting to get wrecked into a win, but coming there to the end, I jumped up with Aiden because I mean we've pushed each other so much, and I knew he would just push me because he knows. I mean, he obviously knows how hard to push, and I thought that was my only chance at winning that race. But yeah, Kent definitely would have had that if all chaos didn't break loose there at the line. But either way, I'm happy to be in victory lane and keep the good numbers going for the Bandits.
You're only 1 point outside of the top 3 in points, and that's 1 point outside of the prize money as well. Next week is going to be for a lot, for pride, for prizes, for cold hard cash. Man, we can't wait to see you at Homestead. Congratulations again on the win.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
Fans at home, a chaotic and amazing Thursday Night Thunder race at Talladega comes to a close. We're going to be talking about this one for hours, and we're going to be posting a screenshot of this on Twitter here soon as well. So stay glued to Thursday Night Thunder and Rick James' Twitter. We got the next gen cars. They're doing the playoffs actually at Talladega. So if you can't get enough Talladega, Monday night, ENEA and their next gen cars will be live here at Dega right on Rick James TV, 8:30. And until that next race, Everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will see you all